If someone tells you to just put whatever tires are cheapest on your Tesla, do me a favor, never take advice from that person again. The wrong tire on a car this heavy can put you and your family in danger. I have a list of 3 brands you need to avoid and 7 that will actually go the distance. Worst number 1 is the Michelin Primacy MXM4. This is the tire Tesla put on the Model 3, the Model S, and older Model Y trims for years. It carries a 45,000-mile warranty from Michelin, which sounds reasonable until you see what actually happens on these cars. I have personally pulled these tires off Teslas in my shop at 15,000 miles with the tread nearly bald. That is borderline unsafe on a car this heavy. The Tesla community backs this up. Owner after owner posts photos of bald Michelins. 18,000 miles and the tread was gone. 22,000 miles, same story. One Model S owner burned through 3 complete sets in 63,000 miles, while the tire had a 45,000-mile warranty. Think about that. But the wear is not even the worst part. The acoustic foam inside these tires, the little strip of polyurethane glued to the inner liner, peels off. I had a customer last year who was absolutely convinced his Model 3 had a suspension problem. The car was shaking violently above 50 miles per hour. It turned out the foam detached inside 2 of his Michelins and threw the balance completely off. That is not a minor inconvenience. That is a highway safety issue. Now, Michelin will honor warranty claims if you bought the tires aftermarket, and you can usually recover $350 to $500. But here is the kicker. Factory-installed tires carry no mileage warranty at all. Tesla has quietly moved to Hankook tires on the newer Highland Model 3, which tells you exactly what they think of the MXM4 at this point. The next brand to avoid is going to make some people mad, because a lot of tire shops push these tires hard. Worst number 2, budget Chinese tire brands. I'm talking about Westlake, Linglong, and the no-name brands your local tire shop recommends because they are 40 to 60% cheaper than the big names. On a 3,500-pound Camry, maybe you get away with it, but on a Tesla, you are rolling the dice with physics. A Model Y weighs close to 4,400 pounds. That is almost 800 pounds heavier than a Toyota RAV4. And unlike the RAV4, when you hit the accelerator on a Model Y, the full torque slams into the contact patch before the tire compound even has a chance to react. Budget rubber compounds were never designed for that kind of stress. I talked to a guy who bought a used Model 3 with Linglong tires from a dealership. He told me the car felt sketchy every time it rained. I believed him, because the wet traction on those tires is not even in the same universe as what a Michelin or Continental delivers. On a car with no spare tire that weighs 2 tons, wet traction is not optional. Now, I want to be really clear about something. I am not saying every Asian tire brand is bad. Hankook is South Korean, and their Ion Evo is one of the best options you can buy. I will get to that one shortly. But the generic budget brands with zero electric vehicle engineering behind them, save those for your lawn trailer. All right, this third one is the most painful because it is an expensive tire doing a cheap tires job. Worst number 3. The Pirelli P0PZ4. This is the factory tire on Model 3 Performance and Model Y Performance with those staggered 20-inch and 21-inch setups. Pirelli gave this tire a tread wear rating of only 280. To put that in perspective, a good all-season tire sits between 400 and 600. Pirelli designed this tire to grip, not to last. And on a 4,000-pound car with instant torque, it gets absolutely devoured. Because the performance models run different sized tires front and rear, you cannot rotate them. The rears just sit there absorbing every ounce of acceleration and regenerative braking force. I have seen Model Y Performance rear tires completely finished at 5,000 miles. One owner I follow went through 4 sets of rears in 21,000 total miles. At $350 per tire, that is nearly $3,000 in rear tires alone before most people finish paying off their car loan. And those 35 series sidewalls are tissue paper thin. One pothole on a Michigan highway and you are looking at a sidewall bubble or a blowout. If you own a performance model, I personally think the best move is ditching the factory wheels entirely. Go down to 19-inch wheels with proper all-season tires and your costs drop by more than half. Now, before I get into the 7 tires that actually work, I need to tell you something that applies to every brand on this list equally. Teslas eat rear tires 2 to 3 times faster than fronts. Regenerative braking sends all of that stopping force through the rear axle, even on all-wheel drive. If you are not rotating your tires every 5,000 to 6,000 miles and keeping your pressure at 42 to 45 psi cold, no tire brand is going to save you. I have seen owners double their tire life with just those 2 habits. The brand matters, but discipline matters more. Now that you know what to avoid, let me show you the tires that actually put up real mileage numbers on these cars. Best number 1. The Continental Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus. This has been a favorite in the Tesla community for years, and for good reason. It starts with deep tread, deeper than what most factory tires give you, and it carries a 50,000-mile warranty. I've talked to owners running these to 40,000 to 50,000 miles with regular rotation, and Continental puts out $70 rebates regularly. I put a set on a customer's Model 3 last spring, and he texted me at 35,000 miles saying the tread still looked almost new. A Model Y owner in Colorado runs these through Rocky Mountain winters and says the combination of all-wheel drive and the DWS 06 handles snow without slipping or sliding. You will lose about 5 to 8% of range compared to factory tires, but you are getting roughly triple the tire life. That math works out every single time. But what if there is a tire that actually gives you better efficiency than the one Tesla puts on at the factory? Best number 2, the Hankook Ion Evo All Season. Tesla chose this tire for the Highland Model 3 refresh. When Tesla drops Michelin in favor of Hankook, pay attention. One owner ran a controlled test on a Model 3 Performance and found the Ion Evo delivered 18% better efficiency than the stock Pirelli P0 tires. 18%. That is real range coming back to you on every single drive. Owners are reporting 45,000 miles on fronts and around 25,000 on rears, which is excellent for an electric vehicle tire. And here is a detail I love. It weighs only 23 pounds, making it the lightest tire in its class. Less weight on the wheel means less energy wasted with every rotation. The trade-off is grip. If you like pushing your Tesla through curves, this tire will feel soft compared to a Michelin Pilot Sport. But for the daily commuter who wants maximum range and minimum cost per mile, this is my current top recommendation. If you are finding this useful, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I put out Tesla maintenance content every week. Now let me tell you about the tire that the Tesla community almost unanimously agrees is the best all-around option. Best number 3, the Michelin Cross Climate 2. I personally think this is the best tire you can put on a Model 3 or Model Y if you deal with rain or snow, and the numbers are ridiculous. One owner ran his first set to 55,000 miles and immediately bought a second set of the same tire. Another owner posted photos showing 85,000 miles on a set he never even rotated. The 60,000-mile warranty is almost conservative on this tire. It has the 3 peak mountain snowflake rating, so this tire was actually tested in severe snow and passed. That matters because Teslas do not have a spare tire. You get stuck in a blizzard on all-season tires that cannot handle real snow, and you are calling a flatbed. You will lose about 7 to 12% of range, and the handling is touring class, not sporty. But for a tire you install and forget about for 3 or 4 years in basically any weather, nothing in the Tesla world touches it. I will argue with anyone in the comments about this. Now, this next tire comes from a company based in the Netherlands that you have probably never seen on a shelf at your local discount tire or at Costco. Best number 4, the Vredestein Quatrack Pro. Vredestein is a Dutch tire company that has been around since the 1940s. They are massive in Europe, but almost nobody in the United States knows they exist. A Model Y long-range owner drove these to 44,000 miles and kept going. Another owner reached 60,000 miles. A New England owner who deals with brutal winters said these are night and day better than the factory Continental tires in snow and ice, with only 1 to 2% efficiency loss. That is the lowest range penalty I have seen on any tire that is not electric vehicle specific. They are 3-peak mountain snowflake rated, have solid rim protection for those expensive Tesla wheels, and cost about $150 to $175 per tire with a 50,000-mile warranty. You mostly buy them through Tire Rack, but if they make your size, this is the sleeper of the entire list. Now, this next recommendation is for the owner who wants to install tires and then pretend tires do not exist for the next 4 years. Best number 5, the Nokian One. Nokian is a Finnish brand that builds some of the toughest tires on the planet, and the One carries an 80,000-mile warranty. That is the highest warranty of any tire commonly used on Teslas. One Model 3 owner hit 43,000 miles, and the tread was not even halfway worn down. That tire still had more life in it than most factory tires have from day one. At around $140 to $165 per tire, the cost per mile is the best on this list. The sidewalls use aramid fiber reinforcement, the same stuff they use in body armor. On a car with no spare, that kind of puncture resistance pays for itself the first time you hit a pothole at 70 miles per hour. The handling is pure comfort, not sporty at all, and some people notice a low hum at highway speed. But if your priority is maximum mileage at minimum cost, the Nokian One is a tire that a lot of Tesla owners should be looking at, and almost none of them are. Now, everything I have recommended so far prioritizes mileage and value. This next tire throws all of that out the window and focuses on one thing: making your Tesla actually fun to drive. Best number 6, the Michelin Pilot Sport All-Season 4. If you want your Tesla to feel like a completely different car, this is the one. Owners who swap from the factory MXM4 tires to these say they fall in love with their car again. The turn and response gets sharper, the braking feel tightens up, and the cornering confidence goes through the roof. You get 35,000 to 45,000 miles, and there is a 45,000-mile warranty. Costco usually stocks them, and that can save you $30 to $50 per tire. The grip in wet conditions is outstanding. The downside is range. You lose 8 to 15%, which is the biggest efficiency hit on this list. And at $180 to $220 per tire, it is also the most expensive option. If driving enjoyment matters more to you than squeezing every last mile of range, this tire earns its price. One warning: the Michelin Pilot Sport EV is a completely different product with much worse longevity reviews. Stick with the All-Season 4. Sometimes slapping EV on a tire label makes it worse, not better. I think that is true for a lot of the electric vehicle tire marketing out there right now. This last one is a tire I have mixed feelings about, and I am going to tell you exactly why. Best number 7, the Bridgestone Turanza EV. Bridgestone built this specifically for electric vehicles with a lighter construction and a tread pattern designed to cut road noise without foam inserts. It carries a 50,000-mile warranty, and multiple owners say their Model 3 feels like it is gliding on air with these installed. The energy consumption numbers on the Turanza EV are all over the place. Some Model 3 owners match factory efficiency. Others measured a 15% drop on the same highway routes. That kind of inconsistency tells me driving style and climate play a bigger role than Bridgestone wants to talk about. This is what bugs me about it. The regular Bridgestone Turanza Quiet Track, the non-EV version, costs less and carries an 80,000-mile warranty. The EV version costs more and only warrants 50,000 miles. You are paying a premium for fewer guaranteed miles. If you find the Turanza EV on sale at Costco with their $70 off deal, it is worth considering. At full retail, there are better options higher up on this list. One last thing before you go. A lot of people think you need tires with acoustic foam inside, or your Tesla will be unbearably loud. That is a myth. Tire rack tested foam versus non-foam and measured about 1 decibel of noise difference. You cannot physically hear 1 decibel. I have had customers swap from foam tires to regular tires and tell me they noticed 0 difference. Do not limit your tire choices because of foam. Pick the right tire for your driving style and your budget, and forget the foam exists. Now, tires are one of the biggest maintenance costs on a Tesla, but there is another part of your car that could cost you way more if you ignore it: your battery. I made a video covering 6 alarming signs your Tesla battery is dying, and a couple of them are things you would never think to check. If you plan on keeping your car long term, that is the video you need to watch next. I will see you over there.